Greetings, Augies worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, and welcome to another episode of Ask Dave. In this episode, we take a look at what the various accessories are that are available for an Anytone AT-D878UV Plus. Now, what the Plus model is, the Plus model is just like the one I reviewed earlier, except that it has a Bluetooth capability in it. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to explore that capability a little bit more and kind of recap the review that I did earlier of the D878UV. Quite a remarkable radio, and I have to say, of all the radios that I've reviewed, it's up there among my favorites. I got this from Bridgecom, direct from Bridgecom. Remember a previous video, I had a conversation with Bridgestone Marketing. It was a very entertaining and very intriguing interview. One of the questions I asked him that I thought was my most important question was, what do they sell more, D-Star repeaters or DMR repeaters? And the answer was DMR. Which is more popular, DMR or D-Star?
Yeah. Definitely DMR right now, just due to the vast number of low-cost radios due to the competition and the open source nature of it.
Mm-hmm. There's lots more radios that do DMR. You have to get either a Kenwood or an ICOM to do D-Star. The difference between the two is that D-Star was developed by the Japan Amateur Radio League, the JARL, as a digital standard, which was adopted first by ICOM and then later by Kenwood. And then there's DMR, which all the Chinese vendors have been doing. It took them a few tries to get radios out that did a good job on DMR. The D878UV Plus is one of them. It's an excellent radio. Decided to send to me basically one of all the accessories that come with the radio. And so let's do a quick unboxing here and find out what's inside. Now, I must point out that after I got this from them, after we did the interview, I've been receiving quite a few messages from Bridgecom. Bridgestone's a tire. Bridgecom Systems is the company that does two things. They assemble and create repeaters to order, either analog repeaters, 2 meter, 440, whatever, or you can do D-Star or you can do DMR, okay? And then they also import the Anytone DMR handhelds. These are also good as just ordinary FM handhelds. So let's see what all we've got in here. We've got a list that shows the Anytone radio, the protective case, the water-resistant speaker mic, ring-style earpiece, Bridgecom security-style earpiece, a longer whip, an even longer whip, and a battery eliminator. Now, not all, most of the Japanese radios, you can plug 12 volts right into them and it will bring it up to full power. In fact, some of them need that in order to put out their full power as handhelds. Some take an adapter. I know I've got an old Kenwood that does that. And then I think on the Asus I've been able to put 12 volts in. The Chinese radios are built universally around 7.2 volt batteries. They're lithium-ion batteries, they're 7.2 volts. And the so-called battery eliminator in here will plug into 12 volts and run your radio for you. So it's very handy if you're going to be a while. Let's see what other pieces of information we've got here. This is a thank you for buying your radio from us. I'll put this over here. And it tells you where you can go to Bridgecom University and learn about DMR. And they've got an amazing number of videos, and something that would be very interesting. They've got different steps that you go through to get your support and downloads that you need. So let's take a look. We've got air bubbles. Okay, this is the speaker mic. Let's take a look at the speaker mic. It's got a Kenwood style plug, meaning it's got a 3.5 millimeter plug here and a 2.5 millimeter plug here. And then the speaker mic is quite small. It fits in the palm of my hand. And it's got a little clip on here you can clip to something, and a push to talk button, and those are the only controls that are on the mic, except for one little button at the bottom, and I don't know what that does. We'll find out if that's anything as we go on. Okay. We also have here the protective case, which is in its own protective shield here. And this is a little faux leather case that snaps around the radio, and it's got holes for the speaker and the mic, and you can press it through the plastic, press the keys that are on there. Okay, so let's see what else we've got in here. We've got a longer, this is a dual band 140 430 dual band flexible whip handheld antenna, 50 ohms. I'm going to check this on the antenna analyzer and see if that really is true on those frequencies. And here is another antenna, longer than the one that normally comes with the Bridgecom. This is also dual band and 50 ohms, and we'll check that on the antenna analyzer. This is a kind of a more classic style microphone that you tuck up behind your ear, and well, it's a microphone and a speaker right there. So it's a headset, and it's got a mic kind of dangling down, and then this plugs into the radio. And then this is another one, but it's a little different. You've seen newscasters and all the security people have these little white coiled things here for their microphones. Let me just take a look at that. The actual transducer is in here, but this goes up to the ear, and there's a microphone in where this thing clips. So, and you've got a push to talk on the side of it. That's kind of cool. And let's see what else we have in here. The battery eliminator. Now, I mentioned the reason for the battery eliminator. You can't just put 12 volts in, and the actual radio comes with a drop-in charger. This right here replaces the battery on the back of it and has a cord that will go into an automotive, now they used to call them cigarette lighters, I guess they're called power plugs now. But then you can use this in a vehicle and it will stay powered indefinitely. You don't have to worry about your battery running out. You can also use this with smaller batteries as long as they put out 12 to 13 volts. It says, let's see, 15 nominal energy 15.54 watt hours. It doesn't mean anything with the battery eliminator. 2100 milliamp hours. It'll run the battery, or run the radio at full throttle. You know, this is the actual radio itself, firmware 1.12. Read this first. Plug your radio into your Windows computer without installing the driver. Windows should find the driver automatically. Okay, here are a couple stickers for those who love stickers. They seem to be popular these days. There's a couple of them there. Here's the owner's manual. Now, the owner's manual, having looked at the previous owner's manual for the D878UV, It's written by a native English speaker or very near native English speaker, and much easier to use than a lot of the other, even the Japanese manuals. So here is the radio. Good grief. It is well packed. Wow. Okay, the radio. And there is I don't know quite what this is for. It's a USB connector with 2 connections on the end. We'll have to read the instruction book about that. This is the programming cable, okay, USB. And when they say plug it in, you plug this into the headphone jack here, and then attach it to your computer, and it should find the driver. Here's a little strap made of Velcro. The antenna. This is the little item that you use on the back to clip it onto your belt. And here is the drop-in charger. Okay, very common for all the Chinese radios. They have these separate drop-in chargers. This is the little push-to-talk button. And you see the blue color there? That's Bluetooth. This push-to-talk button can go somewhere that you need to be, and you can press the push-to-talk button from there. So we'll explore that and see what all has to happen with these little Bluetooth items like that. Okay, and then underneath we have an empty box, and then this box has the actual battery in it. Now these batteries are charged at the factory, but considering the shipment times and everything, these can become discharged. Now this battery, you put it in like this, the bottom in first, and then the top, just out of curiosity. There we go. We've got dates there that we can set up, and we will do that when we set up the radio here and try the Bluetooth features. Okay, so just about every accessory under the sun is included on my table here, quite a few. Now, one thing that's interesting is that Bridgestone, Bridgecom, I'm sorry for saying Bridgestone. I worked with motorcycles for many years, and Bridgestone tires were everywhere. Or BridgecomSystems.com, BridgecomSystems.com. After I got this, I've received about 1 email a day from Bridgecom. And what they are trying to do is provide excellent support for the users of this radio. I've never had another vendor who has been so thorough about sending email links and so on about using the radio. They seem quite determined that you're going to have a good experience with that radio. I commend them for that. Here are some of the emails that they sent me. One about a dedicated DMR support page with courses, dedicated Anytone support page with FAQ, how-to video on USB drivers, how to create a DMR code plug for your Anytone handheld, importing existing code plugs into an Anytone handheld, how to update the firmware in your Anytone handheld, how to change the analog squelch level on your Anytone, how to adjust the auto power off function in the Anytone D878UV, which probably also applies to the 878. How to share, if you got a really good code plug, how you can share that with other people. They have a system there where you can upload code plugs so that other people can see what you've done, download them, modify them, etc. Which speaker mic does Bridgecom recommend? And no surprise, it turns out to be this one. How to add and delete a contact in your Anytone handheld. Is the 878 Bluetooth capable of pairing with multiple devices? The hint, yes, it is. Okay, code plugs you can use while traveling, and changing your stock antenna. So there's lots of things that they're trying to do out of Bridgecom systems to try to create a community around the Anytone handhelds. And they're doing all the usual social network kinds of things. So it's a pretty good deal. I'm very impressed with the level of support that they're providing for their product. Now, mind you, these are not inexpensive radios. And to get an equivalent Japanese handheld with all the bells, whistles, features, GPS, all that sort of stuff would cost considerably more than that. So there's an overlap of the high end of the Chinese radios like the Anytone with the sort of the middle of the Japanese market. Of all the different types of radios that I've looked at, the Chinese radios, the Islands HD1 is a wonderful radio. The GD77 from Radioddity is a great little radio. The Anytone D878UV, either with or without the Bluetooth, is a great radio and probably my favorite so far of all the radios. So do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely I do. In the next video on the Anytones, we will be looking at the Bluetooth feature in here to supplement what happened and find out what we can do with this push-to-talk button and find out if it will connect to the car audio system and so on and so forth. It should be very interesting to find out. So in channel news, be sure to watch the Saturday YouTube live stream. It's held at noon U.S. Pacific Daylight Time, which is 1 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Daylight Time, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's at 1900 UTC on Saturdays. And I'll be doing that, trying to do that every Saturday. I answer questions. If you send a question to Ask Dave, which is dcasler.com/ask-dave, you'll get a form you can fill out. And I've had some trouble with those getting forwarded over to my email account. So I found a way to go into my website and pull all those questions down. My website, it keeps getting slightly hacked, which is just enough to make it not work right. So I have to go back in and change and reset things. And of course, complaining to the people who host the website doesn't do any good. They don't seem to know either what's going on there. But in any event, if you can also send a question, and this may be the better way, to hamradioanswers@gmail.com. That's hamradioanswers@gmail.com. And if you need to, you can attach a diagram or photograph or sketch or something like that that you've put on there, and either a JPEG format photograph or a PDF. I don't use Microsoft Word, so if you could export it as RTF, then I can pull it into LibreOffice and take a good look at it. The Saturday live stream is devoted to answering your questions. I also try to answer questions posed in the live stream chat. If you have subscribed and clicked on the bell, you should get a notice as each session goes live. If you aren't, make sure the bell is clicked, and also check your spam folder because the notification might end up going in there. You can also go directly to the live feed at youtube.com/c/davidkassler/live. And thanks for all your support and suggestions and ideas, and I've got quite a stack of them to work through to make videos about. Please like and share this video. Your subscription, if you subscribe to this channel, you're telling YouTube that this is your vote of confidence in my channel. You think this is a channel that they should refer to like-minded individuals. So it's very important for you to do that. I like to distribute knowledge widely, and of course my videos are free for the watching on YouTube. And thank you for the 115 patrons who are supporting this channel via patreon.com, and to those who drop a little something in the tip jar at ke0og.net/tip-jar. By the way, ke0og.net and dcasler.com are essentially the same thing, a little bit different. All is most gratefully acknowledged and appreciated. Also note that I have all the amateur extra training videos available on a thumb drive for $49.99 postpaid anywhere in the United States, so you don't need to be online to watch them. Of course, you can watch them for free on YouTube anytime you want to. The technician videos are similarly available for $29.99. And you can see all of these options at dcasler.com/support. So, until we next meet, 73.